You know what they called Tanner Roark back in the day? The diesel engine. And you know what the Jays are acting like right now? A diesel engine. And they are chugging right through the Baltimore Orioles as they win 6-3 at Rogers Center in Game 2 of the 3-game set with the W. The Jays are now 7 games up on the Baltimore Orioles, and we can see a flipping playoff spot right in front of our face. And with the W, the Jays are now 83-63, 20 games over the 500 mark. And you remember the last time? The last time the Blue Jays were 20 games over? Yeah, it was after game 162 of last season. Pretty wild stuff. Pretty wild stuff. This thing has come full circle. Actually, were they 90? Yeah, I think they were 20 games over 500. Either way, it was back, I think it was after 162. Either way, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You guys can probably hear in my voice. I ain't feeling the greatest right now. I'm pounding through it for you. Let's talk about a ball game, shall we? Bottom of the first. The Jays get some manufactured runs, and you love to see it. George Springer with the single, Vladdy with an infield single. You love to see it. Bo Bichette moves Springer over. Okay, good stuff. Then Matt Chapman. Right, well, I think Bo Bichette hit was it fielder's choice on the infield. Springer to third. Matt Chapman's a sacrifice fly. In comes George Springer. The Jays lead it 1-0. All right, a good start to the ball game. You got the lead. Just what you want to see. And some small ball. All right, beautiful stuff. Bottom of the second inning. With Kevin Biggio on and Santiago Espinal on base. George Springer comes up and he drills a ball to left field and it goes off the wall. In comes Espy. In comes Kevin. And the Blue Jays now lead it 3-0. And we're buzzing. Rogers Center, almost 45,000 there today. Beautiful. We're hoping it stays that way the rest of the season. Obviously with a giveaway, day as well. It just kind of builds up more. But either way, phenomenal turnout there at Rogers Center. And the Jays now lead it 3-0. Top of the third inning, though, Jose Barrios gets into some trouble. Gives up an RBI single to Henderson. Gunnar Henderson. In comes Santander. In comes Mullins. And just like that, it's a 3-2 ball game. And they have runners on the corners with 1 out. But Jose Barrios dials it in, does not allow another run to cross. 90 feet away was the tying run. Doesn't come home. And it stays that way until the bottom of the 5th inning. And, oh baby, this is what happens. Matt Chapman hits a single. Vladdy, I think it was it was a ground ball to third. Pretty routine. Just terrible throw by Urias. And the Blue Jays just get base runners, right? They go to the bullpen. They bring out this awkward-looking righty. I can't remember his name now. He walks tail. Bases are loaded with 2 out for Alek Tapia. He's got to face the righty now, which I'm not really sure why they brought in the righty. He wanted to try and get Teo, I guess. But that's a really risky move because if he doesn't get Teo, you got a lefty now. And that's exactly what happened. And Tapia gets a slider over the middle of the plate, and he drills it to right center field, and it one-hops the wall. In comes Teo. In comes Vladdy. In comes Matt Chapman. And the Jays now lead it 6-2. He breaks it wide open. And Alek Tapia's numbers with the bases loaded for his career, over 400. Wild. He has 4 bombs. He has 4 grand slams. It's wild stuff. But he comes through yet again for the Blue Jays here. And now they break it open. It's 6-2. Jose Barrios settles down nicely. And after that third inning, second, third inning, he was kind of in a lot of trouble. He did settle down and was really good the rest of the ball game. All right, they get a run in the top of the 8th inning. 5 hits, an RBI single. Henderson scores, make it 6-3 off of Jimmy Garcia. But that was it. Done. 6-3 dub. Romano comes in. You know what he's going to do. Locks it down. And the Jays win it 6-3. And like I said, I'll say it again. 7 games over the Baltimore Orioles for that final wild card spot. And, you are forcing. This is massive for the Blue Jays. We are 1 game up on the Seattle Mariners right now, right? They have the same amount of losses. So or I guess technically now it's 1.5, I believe. And, they have the same losses. But we have 3 more wins. You know what that tells me? The Blue Jays are forcing the Mariners to win. Now, yes, is their schedule really light down the stretch? Absolutely is. But you're forcing them to win. They lost last night to the Angels. They have Shohei Ohtani on the hill against them today. So, some crazy things are going on right now. And the Jays are going out there and they're doing what they are supposed to do. Win their ball games. And it's beautiful. All right? They have an opportunity tomorrow we'll talk about that in a second. Let's get to the offensive stats, shall we? George Springer, all the talk about, oh, he's not feeling good. Yeah, but he's George flipping Springer. He ain't moving from that number 1 hole. He is still damn clutch, and he goes 2 for 4 with a run scored and 2 RBIs in the ball game at the top of the lineup. Really nice job for George. Vladdy, 2 for 4 in the ball game with a run scored. People are like, well, none of them left the infield, or maybe one did. Well, so, how many balls does this guy hit over 110 miles an hour right at guys? Yeah, the luck's kind of coming back for Vladdy a little bit, as it should. Matt Chapman, he had a very nice night at the plate, or afternoon, I guess, at the plate. He was really good yesterday, 3 for 4, 2 bombs, right? But today, 1 for 2, had a single, came around to score. He scored 1 run, had an RBI, obviously the sac fly in the first, and he walked once. So productive in basically every AB for Matt Chapman today. He got a hit, which he came around to score on, had a sac fly, and he walked. Really nice day for Matt Chapman. 9 hits total for the Blue Jays, 9 strikeouts, and they walked twice. But let's get to Jose Barrios. He went 6 innings, allowed 7 hits, only 2 earned runs, struck out 3 and walked 2. And this was a stereotypical outing of a guy who's out there battling, just fighting, grinding. They're hitting him pretty hard. He's trying to make in-game adjustments, and he did a fantastic job. I talked about it earlier. The second and third innings, he was really fighting it. They had some hard contact against him, and they obviously scored a couple of runs off him in the third inning as well. But then he settled in. And the reason being, they were looking changeup. We obviously know, if you watch the Jays deeply, you know that he's been using his changeup a lot more. And so the Orioles went into this game looking changeup. And they were hitting him pretty hard, the changeups. So what does he do? Him and Danny Jansen, they go away from it. Not fully away from it, but less, right? More fastballs, more breaking balls, more sliders, right? All that stuff. And it seems to work a bit. So then he goes back to the changeup later on in this outing, and it works. I think he got a couple, one of his strikeouts, was on that changeup. So I'm sick, guys, so I apologize for this. And my aunt is proud of me for this. I hope she's watching. I got the box with me. She's gotten mad at me in the past because, I usually use my arm or sleeve or hand or whatever. So that's usually, I usually get yelled at for that. So I was prepared today. But he was fantastic, was Jose Barrios. And the role he's been on continues. I think it's like 6 of his last 7 outings or whatever. He's allowed like 3 or less runs. Like, he's been really, really good. And it's a perfect time to see Jose Barrios starting to feel it again. It really is. And the bullpen, they did their thing. Now, Tim Meza, clean inning, no base runners. Fantastic job 2 days in a row for Tim Meza. And Jimmy Garcia, back-to-back games where he's allowed to run. He in his 1 inning, he allowed a couple hits, allowed to run, but then struck out the side because screw it, why not? And then Jordan Romano, what else can we say? What else can we say about Jordan? He was phenomenal yet again today. Just a clean inning of work for him. He allowed the walk to Rutschman. I actually don't have the stats in front of me for him because I was on the live today on BJC. But he was outstanding yet again. He had another save for Jordan Romano, and just phenomenal stuff from him. The Markham native doing it yet again for the Blue Jays. Now, let's turn our focus to tomorrow. The finale of this 3-game set. And it's a big game for a few reasons, right? We talked about this in the Rays finale. About, if you won that game, you'd be 2.5 up. If you lost, you'd only be half a game up. Obviously, they lost it, and they were only half a game up. In this sense, you have a little bit, obviously, a wider gap between you and the Orioles. But if you lose tomorrow, you're 6 up, which is not bad at all. You were 5 up going into the series, so it's not a terrible idea. But if you win this series with like 15-something odd games to go, you could have an 8-game lead in the playoff spot if you win tomorrow. It is a massive game for those reasons. And who do you have on the hill? Well, the guy you want on the hill to close out a series. Alek Manoah gets the ball for the Blue Jays. Dean Kramer gets the ball for the Orioles in the finale of this 3-game set at Rogers Center. And the fellows look to really just stick a fork in the Orioles' plans to possibly even remotely make the playoffs. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You enjoyed the video and enjoyed the ball game this afternoon. Smack the like button. Do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. You guys are not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game, what you like, what you not like from today's game for the Toronto Blue Jays. The Twitter link is down below. So follow and send me a DM. Do that great stuff. I tried to do it. Tried to get to the end of it. Couldn't do it. Tough scene. Hopefully I'm better tomorrow. Hit that like button, subscribe, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff's down below. And go nuts, guys, in the comments. Please do. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow hopefully not sick. 137 first pitch at Rogers Center. Alek Manoah, Dean Kramer is a pitching matchup there in the finale at Rogers Center. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the ball game today. Talk to you guys then.